Welcome back. The rest of the Newcastle Rugby League's round 16 competition is finished. Because of that, Central Newcastle has beaten Central Newcastle Butcher Boys has beaten the Macquarie Scorpions 30 points to 16. Meanwhile, in the other games, the Entrance Tigers has defeated the Western Suburbs Newcastle Rosellas 12 points to 8, while Lakes United gave South Newcastle an absolute upset 22 to 10. It's a really good competition played. Of course, it's Newcastle Rugby League played at its very best. And it's regional rugby league as well. Maitland were the first to score. But of course, Curry was struggling. And of course, Maitland continued on back-to-back tries. Before Curry finally scored their first try. And of course, Maitland were not giving up. And of course, the Maitland Pickers knew what to do with the ball. They ran and scored tries. And was right with it throughout the entire lot. Then Maitland led 26 to 6. Then scored another one, as the Maitland Pickers led 32 to 6. Then the Pickers were just too good, 38-6. And it was right before full time had started. Full-time score, Maitland 44, Curry 6. Meanwhile, in the other game, it was also one of the best. It was a battle of Cessnock versus Wyong, a battle of the Hunter versus the Central Coast, as Cessnock scored first. Cessnock led 4-0. Before Wyong scored back to quickly lead by 2 points. Wyong were leading 12-4. He's on. Just then, Cessnock produced one of the best comebacks in local rugby league history. Who's tied up? You good, mate? And it was right up in the second half when both Cessnock and Wyong continued to battle against each other. And of course, Cessnock scored. Cessnock won 14, Wyong 22. Now, the Goannas won 2 points behind, but not for long before Cessnock scored to win 26-22. Now to round 12 of local rugby union, and the Wanderers and the Maitland Blacks played one match against each other, and also Maitland managed to score first. Maitland led 7-0 right up against the Wanderers. And of course, Maitland scored their second try. Then, the Wanderers knew what to do. Scored their first try. And of course, it was right up in the Hunter Valley. The Wanderers knew exactly what to do. But Maitland ran with the ball right along the first and second half. The Wanderers scored, but Maitland had a penalty. But neither of it mattered though, as the Wanderers scored. Maitland though won 27-22. To the other match though, University of Newcastle up against the Hamilton Hawks, and of course it was still round 12, and of course Hamilton were the first to score right up against the University of Newcastle. Hamilton led 7-3. And of course, Newcastle were up at home. Then a bit of pushing and shoving erupted into violence. Then suddenly, the Hawks ran away at the ball as they picked it up and scored. With Hamilton now leading 24-13, it was huge. Then Newcastle knew what to do. They only had 13 points, but not for long as they scored a try to have 18 points. And of course, Hamilton had the ball. Then they were given a penalty to quickly kick a goal for conversion, to quickly have a 31 point lead. Then University scored. But by the time Hamilton scored, the job had to be done. Hamilton won 38-23. Then the last one had to come up as the Gropers took on Merewether Carlton at their home ground of Nelson Bay. It was Nelson Bay up against Merewether. It was the Nelson Bay Gropers up against Merewether Carlton. And of course, Nelson Bay, and of course, Merewether Carlton scored first. They led 7-0.
Just wasn't aware as Rayner picked the ball up and got them back to where they started. A little chip over the top for Northcott. This could be trouble. Sikiotis comes across and takes the mark. It's going to be play on for a penalty though.
And it's sweet off the boot.
He's missed that.
Sweet off the boot. Bad angle.
Certainly was. Nelson Bay had 3 points while Merewether had 7.
Was it Rouse?
Yeah, Rouse to Rouse.
Rouse is out there on the wing. He's nearly in the RSL having a beer, Rouse. I don't know who that is.
It wasn't
not Rouse, though.
It's not Rouse, it was a Rayner.
Might be Byfield. Yeah, well, we know Bright Ken kicked. He's out today, and Rouse, the captain for the Merewether side.
That nicely.
Beautiful kick.
Oh, off the post and through.
Both teams quickly had a chance to score, and because of that, they were on the chance of a fight.
Our social media managers behind us. Let's take a quick snap. Inside ball to Rouse. Rouse now.
Merewether led 15 points to 3.
They spill the ball.
Should have passed it. The fullback. He's called it a knockback.
Oh, lovely take there by Fisher. The arms go up.
Surely he's got to go to the replay. He's got to go. He's checked with his touch.
That is going to be called a try. So the score now increases.
Merewether won 20, while Nelson Bay was still on 3 points, but not for long, as the home side were on the verge of a fight back, also known as a comeback.
He has been threatening all day.
There's the Bay. They've got the throw right here in front of us on the.
With Nelson Bay on 8, the home side knew exactly what to do.
And he got peppered by Pouchet.
As Phil that chooses to come right to Mason, he's got Northcott in support.
Little
Push
chip
a little.
By Northcott. Sikiotis bounces up. Northcott's there.
He's there. He's over.
Nelson Bay knew what to do, and it was to score.
That's what they've come to see. Have a listen to him go off. Here in the match.
Nelson Bay 13, Merewether 20. Nelson Bay knew what to do, and it was to score the match-winning try, just to end round 12 of the Hunter Rugby Union competition.
Here comes some points potentially. Will it bounce into his arms? Yes, it will. And the Gropers are over. Can you believe it? Tight to nobody and takes it under his arm.
Nelson Bay won 18 points, while Merewether were on 20.
Looking for supporters, can't find them. 5 metres out.
I need to get it to ground here. The Bay.
They will need to do something with it. Well held up there by. Oh, it's a penalty.
Merewether. Because of that, Nelson Bay had a penalty given.
Mason with a kick right in front. He moves in, sweet off the boot. And the
It was a match winner.
So the Bay for the first time of the afternoon.
Nelson Bay led 21 points to 20. And that's how it stayed, with Nelson Bay securing the match winner.
21 points to 20. Under a minute to go from Merewether Carlton. Comes in, he hits it, and it comes around, and he's missed it.
That's how it stayed though. Nelson Bay securing a 21-20 victory over Mayweather.
What's Nick Charters up to here?
What is Nick Charters doing? He's grounded the ball in goal, so it's going to be a dropout, and they'll get one more shot out of the greens.
And looking to apply some more as Price feeds the ball.
But as they had one last try,
Drive forward again, the greens, and again screws around. It's gone past.
and as they tried to have their lead back, they were stopped as Nelson Bay secured a win, 21-20. In the Hunters NPL men's competition, and Edgeworth has secured a 4-1 win over Lake Macquarie. It was fantastic for Edgeworth, who were too strong for their rivals right throughout the game.
Off a short pass from Josh Rose.
Also, good news for Edgeworth. They managed to do something much more huge. But the goalie stopping the kick, it was time for Edgeworth to try again. And of course, Edgeworth were unstoppable right throughout the game. As like Macquarie tried to level it up. Edgeworth had to defend their hometown.
He's playing. He has a crash, lands in the ocean, and then swims from his aeroplane. Well, good chance there for the Eagles, and that one's just.
It was in the second half. Later on.
So he swims from his aeroplane up onto the shoreline, and as it turns out, he's there for 10 years, and whilst he's there, hasn't seen a soul. Then one day out in the ocean, he sees this, what he thought was a mirage. He then takes a hold of that. He's not sure whether to swim out there or not. Come back to that. This ball's for 10 years, and whilst he's there, hasn't seen a soul. Then one day out in the ocean, he sees this, what he thought was a mirage. He then takes a hold of that. He's not sure whether to swim out there or not. Come back to that. This ball swung into the box. A tight one, and that's it.
And of course,
Sure
Edgeworth secured their second goal.
Finally, or whether it's come in from the cross. Either way, it's the Edgeworth Eagles at 2. Lake
With
Macquarie 0.
With Edgeworth now leading 2-0. Now, it was time for a good amount of revenge. As Edgeworth scored their third goal to quickly have a good score at 3-0. Then Edgeworth then later soon had their fourth goal. Soon converted, with Edgeworth later converting the match to 4-0. And of course, the Edgeworth Eagles were not giving up just yet. And of course, Edgeworth knew what to do. Then there was a yellow card. That was of course given to Lake Macquarie. And of course, Edgeworth had to quickly score their fourth goal, converting it to 4-0.
So just giving you an update.
Then Lake Macquarie secured a goal of their own. Now the scores were 4-1.
Celebration for the club.
But that's how it ended though. Edgeworth securing a 4-1 win over Lake Macquarie. Matches like this always become huge in Newcastle into the Northern New South Wales Premier League, entirely in the men's competition. And of course, Newcastle Olympic scored first. They led 1-0 before scoring their second goal to quickly have it at 2-0. That was before goal number 3 that Newcastle Olympic led 3-0. Then Cooks Hill scored their first goal as the score quickly moved with Newcastle Olympic 3, Cooks Hill 1. Then Newcastle Olympic scored their 4th goal to make it 4-1. Even though more goals wanted to be done, but that's how it stayed though. Newcastle Olympic win the match 4-1. Meanwhile, in the other one, the Western Workers were up against Broadmeadow Magic. Western were of course in the lead, 1-0. Then it was time for a fight back, which was unsuccessful. Then the goal had to be saved. That was all thanks to Western's goalkeeper. As Western's finals hopes remained alive. Of course, the match wrapped up. Then Broadmeadow received a yellow card. And that was all for this. Good news though, no ties, just a win for Western. As Western secured a 1-0 win. Meanwhile, bad news for Broadmeadow as they received another yellow card. the match was the match was all over after that. Western secured a win over Broadmeadow Magic 1-0. In the Women's Premier League, and Warners Bay secured a victory over Newcastle. Meanwhile, there'll be one that'll be on later this week. There'll be one later on after this. Warners Bay started the afternoon with a win. Because of it, it was a victory waiting to happen. Warners Bay had a wonderful time, scoring back-to-back goals. They were now leading against Newcastle 2-0. But Newcastle were not giving up. And of course, Warners Bay knew what they had to do. They played up at the Arthur Eden Oval. Warners Bay were now leading 3-0. Before that lead changed to 4-0. Then later, 5-0. And of course, Warners Bay were unstoppable and uncontrollable right throughout the game. Then another one from the Purple Machine saw them leading 6-0. Then later, 7-0. Then the second half came as they ended up scoring back-to-back goals, starting off with 8-0. Then 9-0.
Next one.
Then 10-0 after that. As the game continued. Then later, 11-0, as Warners Bay secured a record-breaking lead and win into the Northern New South Wales Women's Premier League. Then, up in Taree, Maitland had to face the mid-coast right over there. The home side quickly scored first, 1-0. Then Maitland scored after the break. Then the scores kept on coming for Maitland. And of course they kept on coming as Maitland led 3-1. Then Maitland scored another goal, this time leading 4-1. This time it was enough for Maitland to secure a win over Mid-Coast, 4-1.
Excellent footwork inside and lovely patience, and he scores a squared
To the
away.
NBL 1 East, and the Maitland Mustangs
And Ollie had to find a different
secured a
way to
huge
score, and he
win
did on a
over
back
the
cut.
North Bears in the
Short off the
men's,
iron and just unable to find his
while the
range at the moment
Newcastle
again.
Falcons had a win in
Taking
the
a couple of good
women's.
looks.
That was a great look.
That's another deep three.
And of course,
And that's why he's been
Maitland were
shooting
back
them,
at
because
home
he
in the
knows he can make
Hunter after just a week
As he
off
shot
due
blocked.
to the floods.
Ignatius Mitchell back in the game also, and that's a sweet move down the baseline.
He got
And this time he got a steal for himself. And an old-fashioned double-handed backboard tap from
And of
Terrell
course,
Taylor.
Maitland led 27-26.
4 seconds on the shot clock.
Little step back, and that's good.
Now 30-29. Or 32-29.
Good luck stopping him when he's going downhill, and he puts it in nicely off the glass.
Now 45-40.
There's that man again. Milburn for 3. And that is where he's deadly, and they've finally hit a 10-point lead. Here they go, straight into it, down on the low block. Right side, Hunter with a step back. Beautiful looking shot. And Fakira just has no answer for that one.
Turner wisely slows it down. I think we're going to go for the last shot.
Of course, Maitland
8 seconds on
led
the shot clock.
72. While the
Turner
North
with the
Bears
and one.
54.
And that's a 20-point lead. What can change that is turnovers on offense. You get turnovers, which
That
leads to quick
lead
scores.
later
And there's the first
changed.
score for the Bears for the quarter. It's Rob Moore with a nice drive to the basket. Ball reversal. Mustangs get into a set here. McGann's feeling it though with a couple. Oh, beautiful inside from Billy.
The Mustangs then
Billy inside.
later
Oh,
led
beautiful pass.
80 points to
To Clifford.
58.
Hasn't converted the way
Then
he would probably like.
84 to
Nice move,
61.
Milburn, and that's an N1.
6 seconds on the shot clock.
Then the
Little hesitation there
Mustangs
from
led
Milburn, and a strong
67,
finish. And he's,
87 to 63.
when he gets to 2 feet, Mustangs will just dribble the clock, use most of the shot
And
clock.
93
Milburn's got other
to
ideas.
63.
Nice drive, and that'll be an N1. That'll be an N1. He's got a knack for picking that ball up early. That'll be it. They're not going to shoot
That's
it.
how it
With
stayed.
2, 1,
Maitland
0,
won.
and that's
Maitland
the end of the
won.
game. And the reward for
98
the Mustangs
to
is third
66.
place on the NBL 1 ladder.
Newcastle in front, 24, 26.
It certainly was.
Wednesday night, 30 plus points as well for the team. The Dodgers.
And of course, the Falcons were doing everything to quickly have their lead extended. Newcastle led 34 to 21.
Comes away with it, hands off to Solway. Solway looking inside, decides to shoot himself and drains that one. 3-pointer.
Nice pull up three.
Physical specimen in terms of aerobic capacity. I reckon should be able to run all day.
The Falcons led 38 to 24.
Pass there.
Now 40 to 26.
Out to Evans. Evans is on her own on this occasion and makes the Nationals pay with a big 3-point shot.
To defensively play things a little differently if you're not concerned about, 3 or 4 other players that you would normally be.
Now Newcastle are leading 48 to 27, which is now 51 to 27.
Foy would spin, move inside, outside and back in and gets the points and 1. A bit of help from the fellow Falcons. Decides to kick it across to Kyrie Evans. Hands off to Nicole Munger, and again, hasn't done much wrong.
From 3-point range, she can pull up a nice jump shot, and she can also finish on the rim as well.
Newcastle led 60 points to 29, now 61 to 37. As the Falcons quickly had to make sure that they were heading back to Newcastle to play their next home game. Right up at Broadmeadow next weekend.
Back to Bootsauce. He drains it for another 3. Stops, props, turns around. Comes off to Nicole Munger.
The Falcons knew exactly what to do.
Slater in the way, a good shot.
Scores slam dunks.
Too strong off the board there.
Newcastle 69, Canberra 47.
Slows it down. Evans comes late.
Wow.
Decides to shoot and score. She's locked it up a couple of times. And
Newcastle 72, Canberra 49.
That counts for Munger as well. 2 points and 1.
Of course, the Falcons 78.
Boy, again, another good 2
Canberra
points there inside
49.
for her. From Cairns.
Now Newcastle on 84, while Canberra on
Shot there
49.
from Solway. Good layup. Points count. We'll go to the line.
That's what they
Of
need
course,
to do.
Newcastle on 86,
Got to play
while
the
Canberra
40-minute
on
game, and whilst
58.
they might
As
have a large
Newcastle
lead at the
scored
moment,
more slam
Around,
dunks.
I know Abby Morton's off on
And
a
scored more
US adventure from
points.
August. As reported and daily advertised, a big spread down there last week.
The good news for
Before.
Newcastle is the Falcons managed to win a huge victory. Yeah, what incredible moments. Yeah, well, that's it for now from all of us here. Good night.